colored my hair. Can you tell? It's supposed to be like red. I don't know if you can tell under the camera or not. Hello and welcome to my channel. And this is Tuesday Talks. Tuesday Talks is a Goodreads group that was created by Janie over at the Bookworms Buddy and Janelle from Miss J. Rod's Read. I will leave all of their information and the Goodreads information down in the description box. This week's topic is books that you enjoyed that are outside of your normal reading genre. I'll be talking to you about 3 different books. Now, 2 of these books are definitely outside of the genre that I usually read, which is romance. And of course, that can range from light and fluffy formulaed romances with happy ever afters to the dark and twisted, I don't know what the author was thinking about. So let's just get into the 3 books and book series that I have to tell you about that definitely pushed me outside of my comfort zone, but I absolutely loved overall. The first book the first series that I'm going to be talking about is The Lunar Chronicles by Marissa Meyer. And that includes Cinder, Scarlet, Cress, and Winter. This book, or this series, is a YA dystopian, well, not even really dystopian because it's definitely fantasy after the world has sort of ended. So it could be known as dystopian, but it doesn't have any real humans. It has to do with more fantasy and fairy tale retelling, and it was fabulous. It's actually written for more junior readers, middle school, high school readers. However, as you can see, I'm a full-grown adult and I thoroughly enjoyed these retellings. And I had not really jumped into fairy tale retellings that much before reading this series, but I thoroughly enjoyed having the possibility of Cinderella as a cyborg. I believe she's considered a cyborg because she has mechanical parts, but she's also sort of human. And then you have her android, Eco, and she was super cute. Oh my goodness. So cute. So very, very cute. And you have the people from the moon, which is sort of that fairy godmother figure for the evil queen. She glamours because lunars can glamour and create things that make you see them differently and control your mind. Oh, just so many aspects of this series. And then in Scarlet, you have the whole Little Red Riding Hood feel to it, and Cress is Rapunzel, and then Winter is Snow White and the 7 Dwarfs, and just how it's all put together. I so enjoyed that ride. Completely enjoyed the ride. The next book I'm going to talk about is The Martian by Andy Weir, and I was not a super fan of this book initially. I tried to sit down and read it 3 separate times. 3 times I tried to read this book and I could not get through it. It wasn't until the 4th time that I picked it up and was determined to read this book, and I got it on audiobook. And hearing that narrator, he made that story everything for me. I guess my mind just couldn't put around the fact that it was a lone person's story, and I couldn't pick up the inflections of the sarcasm or get past the science of it. It just wasn't working for me. But then I heard the narrator that they just decided to use for this book, and I found myself laughing and really enjoying this book. By the way, this book is a science fiction book, and it is set in Mars, and you pretty much get one side of a person that's stranded in Mars. Yep. Very, very interesting. Very interesting. And then on top of that, after I read the book, I finally got to watch the movie. I waited until it came out on Blu-ray and watched it, and I loved it. Oh my goodness. I loved every single moment. Ridley Scott and Matt Damon and everyone that was involved in that project just was amazing. I mean, the way they just built out Mars, and it was just so beautiful. It actually made me want to go live on Mars. Oh my gosh. Even through all the crap that he goes through on being stranded there. Just craziness. But it was just absolutely beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. And the last series that I'm going to talk about is The Life of Anna by Marissa Honeycutt. And that is enslaved, entwined, embraced, ensnared, and emerged. This book, this series kept me up so many nights. So many nights. I was in a very big book hangover for this book. And yes, it sort of is the type of book that I read, which is that dark, twisted, sort of taboo romance. But this book series, I have so many feelings about this. I'm actually going to do a reread of this series so that I can properly do videos for this series. It's going to be difficult because the topics and sort of subject matter of this book are definitely not the usual. So I will have to come up with creative ways to let you guys know how much I enjoyed the series. But it is definitely taboo, and some of the things that happen are just like, wow. Wow. Just really over the top. But the way that Marissa Honeycutt intertwines and tells this story is just fabulous. It is beautiful. It is heartbreaking. It will tear your soul apart. And as I said, it's a dark romance, but at the same time, there are some fantasy sort of aspects to it, which I didn't even pick up on until like the fourth book. And I'm really going to be really excited because I already know that it's going to be sort of a fantastical, supernatural sort of book series. I'm wondering if I'm going to pick up on those key elements prior to a scene that I remember from that fourth book. So we will see. If you're interested in knowing more about this series specifically, be on the lookout. This summer I will be doing a reread and doing either a series of videos for each one of the books or a huge wrap-up series video review for this series. So those are 3 books and book series that I read outside of my normal comfort zone and truly loved and enjoyed. What are some of your genre or books that you read that were sort of in your genre, but they had uncomfortable sort of subject matter in them that you really enjoyed? As always, if you enjoyed this video, please give me a big thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. There is a feedback form in the description box so you guys can help me improve my channel. Thank you for watching, and we will see you guys next week.